Awesome. So everyone, welcome to the Sprint17 show and tell. We're super excited to be here today, and I'm especially excited to be hearing all the awesome projects that folks have been working on for the past 4 weeks. Again, if you're in there, feel free to update your Zoom name so we can easily find you when it's time to present. So I'll do a quick presentation to just like tell you all what's about to happen. So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations. And essentially over the past 4 weeks, you all had a goal, which was to gain hands-on experience as a new product manager, to gain a lot more confidence. And it's really fascinating and incredible to see the amount of effort that you've put in, the knowledge that you've gained, and how you've helped each other. It was also a time for you to really discover what kind of product manager that you want to be. Do you like documentation? Do you like user research? And just sort of like iterating on some of those things that you were learning while putting it into practice and actually solving real problems. Lastly, I think we could all agree that having a community and having accountability and having folks around that you could work with, network with, review their specs. I think that just made the experience like so much better. And you've all accomplished that within 4 short weeks. And I know we said the experience will fly by, and I'm sure you could think about orientation and when you were just starting to now, and how much time has passed and how much you've been able to learn in that time. So congratulations, you all deserve a round of applause. So I'm going to give you one round of applause right now, and I'm excited to hear the presentations, and we'll do additional rounds of applause as they come along. And lastly, I also wanted to share that you all do belong in tech. I've seen how extremely capable you all are. I've seen how you've been able to overcome whatever challenges that you've had, whether you didn't understand concepts, but you were able to figure it out, work with each other. And I just want you all to know that you're extremely talented and you are extremely capable, and you do belong in tech. And whatever it is that you choose to do after this moment, I just know that you're well equipped with all the things that you need. So it's an exciting time. So thank you so much for joining us and being part of this journey. So now we're about to hop into the presentations. So I just wanted to share the format so we're all aware. This is going to be a review because most people have already seen this information before. So everyone, or the people who are presenting, would have 3 minutes to present and 2 minutes for Q&A. And I want to encourage you to please stick to time. And I will also advise you that, for the folks who are presenting, make sure you want to allow people asking questions, because it's more beneficial for you to get feedback versus using 5 minutes to present. So we will be strict on time, so we will cut you off. So let's say the 3 minutes is up, you're going to start, we'll let you continue, but you'll be feeding into your Q&A time. And if at the end of it, you don't have any Q&A time, we're going to move on to the next team and you wouldn't get any feedback or comments from the judges. So please stick to time. If you need to skip slides, feel free to do that, but just make sure you're getting the bulk of what it is that you would like to pass across. In terms of how this is going to work, so earlier this morning, the judges and mentors sent me the list of folks who will be presenting. So we'll be expecting about 8 presentations if time permits. And we'll call you up, and everyone should be prepared to present right now. So you should have your slide deck up and be ready to share your screen and get started. But we'll only have time to see 8 presentations for now. So we would announce who is going to present. And once we announce your name, please make sure that you turn on your camera, get ready to start sharing your screen, and then we'll go, and then the countdown begins. And then we'll also then spotlight you. So hopefully that's clear, and hopefully the instructions are clear. Again, you have 3 minutes to present, 2 minutes for Q&A. Please stick to time because we will be strict and we will be cutting you off after that time. And so let's get started with the presentations. So the first person who will be presenting, so let me stop sharing my screen so we can call on the first person. The first person is Mel. So Mel, would you like to, first of all, everyone just give Mel a round of applause. And Mel, would you like to share your screen and get started, and we will spotlight you so you can start your presentation.
Sure. Okay. All right, here, let me just share my screen. Share, hopefully everyone can see. So yeah,
yes,
okay. So hopefully I can do this in 3 minutes. So the concept and sort of space I was exploring for this project was designing for belonging and how we can create or design spaces for belonging, especially for people who are either transitioning in tech or who are in tech already and want to maybe change their career path. So that was kind of the problem space I started with. And it essentially started with my own problem as well. From personal experience, I started my career off in marketing and brand strategy, moved into UX research, and then turning into UX and product design. So I've had many career pivots along the way. And career transitioning is not easy. It's not fun. It's not clear. So yeah, so the problem space that I initially created a survey for was unemployment and well-being. The results of the survey quickly sort of led to the transition of the problem space evolving into lack of social support and tailored resources, which was interesting. So my how might we was, how might we design a space of belonging for tech transitioners by focusing on one-on-one quality mentorship and tailored resource sharing using a digital service. So Mentor Match is the name of the product. So it's a community of accountability dedicated to helping each other build confidence, lead with integrity in the workplace and beyond. And the key tenet here is that you are already enough. You just need the additional support to get to your destination. So validating this, I conducted a survey, interviewed some folks, friends and family, and as well as some of you guys here from Sprint. And mostly it was, the hypothesis was validated. A lot, 100% of the respondents needed more support while job searching, 100% use social media and online networks. Having professional feedback was important, as well as emotional support and someone to listen to them. Losing confidence, comparing self to others was also a big negative on this journey. So I think that was also added into the problem space I was trying to create a solution for. So after interviewing a lot of folks, I've kind of narrowed it down to these three personas. Persona A, who's in tech already, and he wants to move into product management. Persona B, who wants to break into tech, and Persona C, who's trying to break into tech, but is also going through some other challenges. So what could they all have in common? One-on-one quality mentorship was a gap I noticed, the sharing of relevant and tailored resources based off of the individual situation, because everyone is different, and accountability and social support to boost people's confidence. So jobs to be done. So done could mean getting matched to a mentor who's dedicated to the mentee's success. It could mean setting goals together, sharing resources, checking in with each other. But most of all, it would look like ongoing support over time to build the mentee's confidence and to provide them clarity. So the features I decided to work on are match, chat, and profile. So for the match feature would be essentially a very detailed onboarding for the mentee to look, to sort of state what kind of mentor they're looking for. Are they looking for someone to hold them accountable, someone to share insider knowledge, someone to coach them in their career and just to provide more guidance? And through those results, they'd then be matched with someone who would reach out to them first. They would start a chat, they could share files with each other, book calls, they could talk to more than one mentor, for example, and create their own profile of accomplishments and milestones. So potential success metrics, still kind of working on this, but could be positive testimonials from mentees, 5-star ratings of interactions, number of logins, etc. But overall, the conclusion that I've discovered was that career transitioners who are either in tech or trying to break into tech need that additional peer support and relevant resources to help them on their journeys. And designing spaces of belonging can help people access the confidence that they already have. And yes, in terms of open questions, how would this look like in real life? Setting those quantifiable milestones, opportunities for monetization, for example, and navigating stakeholder relationships would be something I'd be curious to explore next. And thank you.
Cool, awesome, great presentation. Thank you so much. Judges, do you have any quick questions? I know we only have like 30 seconds, so maybe we'll just do one question. Feel free to unmute your mic and ask a question. Yeah, there you go.
I have one. Firstly, wonderful presentation, really great deck, very succinct. I see lots of comments that echo that too, so great job. Just one very specific question, which is hoping you can speak to why you zeroed in on product management. in your user stories as maybe the spot for folks to transition into in tech?
Yeah, that was a great question. I think most of the folks that I actually interviewed were part of Sprint, so they want to get into product management naturally. So I think that kind of just happened based off of the people I chose to interview. So I think that was mostly the reason.
Cool, awesome. So we don't have time for another question, but thank you so much for the presentation. And now we'll move on to the next person who will be presenting. So Obianuju, if you're around, feel free to start sharing your screen so you can get started. Just checking. Obianuju, are you in the audience?
Hi. Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that ready. Yeah. Okay, share screen. I'm not sure.
Are you having trouble
Share screen is
sharing your
not
screen?
working for me. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the green button at the bottom.
I don't know if I have. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
everyone
asking
should
me to
have.
share my desktop. Not sure.
Yeah, just pick the screen where your presentation is, and then you should be able to
Okay,
share.
so I need to configure something. So it's asking me to leave the
Okay.
meeting and come back.
Oh, I see. So it seems like
Yeah.
you don't have permissions on your computer. Cool, no worries. We can move on to the next person. Gabriella, if you're ready, feel free to start sharing your screen, and then we'll take it from here.
Yes, one moment. All right, I hope everyone can see my screen. Yes,
Oh, we cannot yet see your
Nope.
screen. No, not yet.
not yet. One moment then.
Okay, now we can see your screen.
Now I can
Awesome.
see.
All right, you have 3 minutes. Get ready. The floor is yours.
Great. Okay, so welcome to Sprinty. Essentially, this is a product that I'm hoping to help writers, specifically long form fiction writers, to help them finish their first draft. So the problem space is around writer's block. Actually, one moment, let me just grab, sorry. Oh no, sorry, 1 second. Oh no, I've lost the slide. Oh, I didn't present with the presenter view. Okay. Let me know if you can see again.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Perfect. Okay, so into the problem space here, I was inspired by myself since I have been a long form fiction writer for over half my life. And one of the issues I really struggle with is finishing a first draft because of writer's block. When looking for other research to validate that I wasn't alone, funny enough, there were many studies about overcoming writer's block, but few actually validating its existence. Luckily, in my own research, I was able to validate that almost 90% of participants had experienced writer's block. And this affliction is particularly frustrating because the desire to write is there, but losing the struggle to overcome this block can end a writing career. And so while the ability to write with an internet connection is available to everyone, overcoming writer's block hasn't been improved upon at the same rate. And for the studies that have looked into managing writer's block, research says that writers who write daily and consistently are less likely to encounter this block. Also validated in my own research and other studies, perfectionism is one of the main causes of writer's block. Fear of a less than perfect first draft holds these writers back. And so this is an example user. Vanessa is 24 years old. She wants to finish her first draft of her novel, and she experiences a lot of writer's block in her writing journey so far. So the solution is Sprint17. Sprint17 is a web-based app that has time sprints built into the product. These are short-term windows, 10 to 30 minutes, where a writer is positioned to write as much content as they can in that block of time. The idea is that the Pomodoro technique will help them overcome the initial anxiety around sitting down to write something. It's much easier to commit to a 20-minute sprint versus an entire next chapter. Once they're ready to write, the timed approach will also help them focus less on getting the right words down, as the perfectionist mindset wants to do, but focus on the quantity. The goal is to write as much as they can in a 20-minute window. The word count will be displayed to help motivate them. And then once the sprint is over, the app will track how much they've written, add it to a total that continues to increase or towards a goal that they've set for their first draft. And they can also set up daily or weekly goals in the app to continue their writing streak and grow those important habits. And there's also potential to make this app social. Writing is a very lonely calling, and being able to time these sprints with others, trade word counts, and chat afterwards can make this habit form faster. And that is the product. And then there are just key learnings about the sprint.
Awesome. So now we'll go on to Q&A time. Judges, would you like to ask the question to Gabriela?
Hi, Gabby.
Hi.
Yeah, that was really great. And I think that something I was wondering as well is, have you thought of like a way to kind of keep the users consistent and motivated to come back? Like I think the Pomodoro technique is really useful when they're in the product. But what about like kind of forming that habit?
Yeah, so I think Duolingo does a really good job with push notifications. So having those notifications come like usually like if it's at the same time every day, so like around like lunchtime, I think was a really popular time for writers to write on their lunch break. And so having those push notifications to bring them back into the product is an idea that is helpful potentially.
We still have time for another question. Rachel, I saw you. Do you have another question to ask, Gabby?
Sure. Actually, and this might have just been something I missed, but you were envisioning this as an app. Is that right?
It could be a web application. So it depends. Some people like to write on their laptops, but there's actually a growing number of writers who like to write directly on their phones, especially younger writers. So I think that there's opportunity to potentially start off with a web application, but go into a mobile app.
Okay, I love that. That was exactly where my head was, which is I know I like to write on my computer. So I was interested in your thought process there, but that's really cool. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. And nice one, Gabriela. So now we'll go back to Uju. I think you're back. So hopefully you're able to share your screen now. So the floor is yours.
I think it should work now. Try it again. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, but I'm sharing it.
Awesome. Now we can see it, but it's just a blank desktop.
Yeah, it's just a blank screen. I'll start the PowerPoint now.
Awesome. Great.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the Shop and Go app. It's an app. It's going to be a mobile app that's going to help people spend less time waiting in long checkout lines. So for the problem space, I did look at according to a Gallup survey, about 95% of Canadians shop for groceries in person rather than online. And the average person spends about 37 hours waiting in line each year trying to check out. So we would like to find out how shoppers at physical grocery stores can pay for their groceries once they're done shopping without waiting in long checkout lines. So a potential user is Aisha. She's a single mom with 2 jobs. She has only just a couple of hours every weekend to get groceries and come home to cook for her kids. She doesn't want to spend the little time that she has at a grocery store in a checkout line. So she'd like to be able to purchase her stuff, go to the grocery store, find the stuff that she wants to buy, and then pay for it on her phone or at an app, in an app that she doesn't have to wait in line for. So this is the proposed solution. So the app is going to be a mobile app, and you can just once you go into the grocery store, can go into the app, scan the item that you want. It'll start up a cart for you, and then you can add as many items as you want into the cart. And it also measures the weight and the total amount that you're spending for each item. And then at the end of your shopping, you don't have to go waiting in line or anything. You just go to the checkout on the app and use your credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or whatever way you want to pay. And you go ahead and pay for the item. Once you're done, you can verify that the weight matches what is on the app with the store employee, and you're done shopping. So far, the learnings I've had in Collab, it's helped me focus more on the problem space than the solution space, because I do come from a software developer background. So that way I'm always thinking about how to solve something. This way I'm looking towards more how the users are going to be able to use this product and how we can help them better. Also, it has also helped me learn more skills in product design, like making mockups, which I had never done before. And also learn how to approach people and gain more confidence in getting user research and user surveys. For future steps for this product, I'd like to build the product up to an MVP, get user feedback, and if there is any more versions of the app that would like to create, that would also be good, and eventually get a role as a product manager. And that's the end of my presentation.
Cool, awesome, great presentation. Judges, do you have any questions for Uju?
Yeah, first of all, like everyone's mockups are great. They're better than the mockups I do at work. So I hope my boss doesn't see the work you guys are doing, because it's really good. It's awesome. I guess my question was more, it looks like you did a lot of research on the consumer side. Is it like, what do consumers want? Did you do kind of pair research or looked into like the stores, like would stores have resistance to like implementing a system like this, or infrastructure concerns, or like labor costs, anything like that you looked into?
Like how the stores are gonna get the product, or is that what was
yeah, like would stores be like open to like having this method of shopping being used? Like how would it impact like their current like labor models and things like that?
Yeah, I do, like I had thought of that, and that's why I said about the second version of the app. There would be a version that the store would have in order to reduce stealing and like stealing from the stores. And I also do think that it'll help the stores in bringing in more customers, because if they know they don't have to spend that long time to do their shopping, then they'll go to that particular store. So I think that's how the stores can also benefit from this product.
Cool, I think that's great. I didn't think of that benefit. That's like actually a cool way of leading it to the stores, of like you can get you more customers in the door if you, so very interesting.
Cool. Any other questions? Still have a little bit more, but if you don't have any questions, we can also move on so we can save some time. Thank you so much, Uju, for your
Thank you. I finally got my screen up. So
good, great. Finally. Vera, you are up next, Veracious. So if you could please share your screen. Yeah, could you please share your screen? And for others, just make sure like your screen is ready. You're able to just be ready to just like share it. So
okay. So my screen should be up now. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. Okay, good evening, everyone. So my name is Veracious, and today I'll be talking about Delightful, which is the product that I worked on. So Delightful basically is an app where you can find African recipes for the ingredients that you already have in your kitchen. So just a little bit of background on how I came about this idea and this product. So I was talking to a friend who I will call Ada. So Ada is a mom, and during this conversation, I asked her that what the hardest part of being a mom was for her. And she said the hardest part of being a mom was having to figure out what she would prepare for her family every single day. So she found this process to be really stressful and time consuming. although she always had groceries at home, she still struggled to figure out what to put together with those ingredients in her house. So after this conversation with Ada, I realized how much I also related to this problem. And then I got thinking one day, okay, so is there a way we can actually find recipes for the ingredients at home without having to go through different recipes, trying to find, oh shoot, I don't have maybe one product or one ingredient or the other that is needed for that recipe. So anyway, I went on Google to search if any solutions existed, and I noticed that although there are some solutions out there, they aren't tailored to African-oriented meals. So most of the African ingredients that were not recognized or were missing on these apps and sites. So that also then made me begin to wonder, to explore this problem space to see if, is this actually a problem that other African home cooks are facing? So I did a research and I did a survey, first of all, and I think I got 30 responses on my survey. And then I did user interviews afterwards. And I found that 64% of my target audience feel stressed, tired, overwhelmed, and unsure when it comes to deciding what to cook or thinking about what to cook next. And 60% of my target users also indicated that they consider available ingredients when they have to cook. They also indicated that they buy groceries in bulk, and that is why when they want to make a decision about what to cook, they always think about the available ingredients. So that led me to Delightful. So with Delightful, you can find African recipes for the ingredients you have at home. You simply just, it's a conversational chat. So you just type the the ingredients you have at home, and Delightful will give you recommendations of African recipes for those ingredients that you already have. So if it's a family looking to introduce variety to their table, maybe they're tired of eating jollof rice or maybe jollof spaghetti, and they're like, how else can I eat rice without just being jollof? So they just put the ingredients that they have, and then Delightful will give them other varieties of African foods they can cook with those recipes. So during my user research, I identified some other problems that African home cooks face. So some of them would like to have a way to customize food timetables. So I hope that in the coming updates to Delightful will include a feature where people can actually customize their food timetables, where users can also share family recipes and pictures with other users on Delightful. And they can actually also customize meal plans based on lifestyle for those that are trying to lose weight or gain weight, and also their unique nutrition preferences. So for now, at this MVP stage, what Delightful would be able to do is to actually give new African recipes for the ingredients you have at home. But as it grows and with more user research and exploring of this problem space, we'll include more in the future updates. So that's it for Delightful.
Awesome. Do we have questions now? This is also the first time I've seen someone share the screen with mobile on Zoom, so it was very interesting. So,
Thank you.
very delightful. Over to the judges for questions.
I had a question on the chat interface. Just wondering how you decided to use. I really like that idea. I haven't seen that before, like in a recipe type of app. How did you decide that was the way to go?
Sorry, I missed your question. Sorry.
Oh, like using like a chat interface. How did you decide to do like a chat for the way to like interact with the app?
What I have in mind is, as users are typing the ingredients they have, it will bring up more suggestions based on what they are typing in. So it would be almost like an interactive search, where as you put what it also suggests to other ingredients that fall in line with what you're cooking. Yeah, so it's kind of like an AI, like a super smart kind of search.
No, I love it. I think it's super cool. I've never seen that before. It's great.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments from Veracious?
Yeah, I can jump into, I think, first of all, love the idea, and I wish I had that right now for myself. I'm wondering, in terms of like all the future possibilities of, maybe integrating some kind of way to also like buy the ingredients or something. Have you thought of some of those ideas as well?
I actually haven't thought that far. So this is really good this is a good question. I'm going to put that idea down to maybe explore it at some point with other updates. So thank you. I haven't actually thought of that aspect of things. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for the presentation, Veracruz. And then we'll move on to the next person, who is going to be Curtis. So Curtis, please could you share your screen and get started? I love staying hydrated to make sure like you can speak well. I love it. All right, over to you. The floor is yours.
Alrighty, give me one moment. Screen. Here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Alrighty, so hey, good people. My name is Curtis, and basically today I'm going to be presenting Her Mechanic. I'm actually the child of a mechanic. My dad was a mechanic in the Army, and after he retired, and I found that I also have two sisters, and I found that women also often face discrimination or higher pricing based off their gender and lack of knowledge when they're going through the auto repair process. So my problem space, after speaking to about 15 women through my surveys and my one-on-one user interviews, I found that a lot of women are taken advantage of when they're seeking auto repair service due to, like I said before, their lack of knowledge and their gender. I actually found a really interesting study from Northwestern University that they conducted in 2012, where they found that on average, women are quoted about $13 more versus their male counterparts. And then if they're viewed as poorly informed, they're charged upward to $200 more for the same auto repair service, which sucks. And then another problem or feedback that I found doing user interviews, where a lot of women were looking for a safe space, if you will, to go through the auto repair process and share the auto repair process with other women. And there's currently no centralized space to do that. You have like Reddit boards, or they may go through Google reviews for auto shops or part pricing, but there's no centralized space to do that currently. And a couple of pain points that I found was they hated the price checking process or the cross-referencing process of, okay, now I know what's wrong with my car, but I see a price on AutoZone.com that may be $150, then I may see $200 on Walmart, and I have to go through all these different places to actually find the best price for the part, or I have to go through all these different reviews to find a reputable auto repair service. 100% of the women consider themselves novice, not of all overall car maintenance and auto repair in their own car. And then 83% of the women felt taken advantage of by an auto repair professional. So meet Deanna. Deanna is an Atlanta-based writer. And this is a real user story from a one-on-one interview. Her catalytic converter was stolen, which she didn't know what that was before. It's a piece in her car. And she didn't find out until she called AAA. But she was actually quoted like $300 to replace that part without the service by one person, and $700 to just get the part by another person. So it was really frustrating for her to not know when she was being scammed or overcharged. And she also depended on her father a lot, which a lot of my users did. And she pointed out that with her father getting older, she wanted to be more independent in her car repair process. So the solution is Her Mechanic, formerly known as My Mechanic, but I wanted an app name that specifically pointed to women and targeted women, because that's what the app is for. So the key features for the app all address the pain points that I found for my users. So the first being downloadable diagnostic videos based off the car model and make, basically giving them more of a base knowledge. So when they go to these mechanics and they're told something is wrong with their car, a lot of my users, they would go to the auto shop for one thing and then leave with like 10 other things the mechanic is saying they need to get done. So if they have that base knowledge, they're put in more of a position of power when trying to get service. And again, the community board would be more like a Reddit board to where the user could post her problem and then other users of the app can comment on that. Maybe they're in the same area and recommend good auto repair services. So give that community base. And then lastly, the search engine. The search engine would be more of a centralized space where the user could insert the make of her car, the part that she's looking for in her problem, and that would generate the top 5 choices for where to purchase the part, pulling from different auto part selling websites. Sorry, guys, a little bit nervous.
No worries, Curtis. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off, but amazing
Okay.
presentation. And I just wanted to echo all the other folks in the audience that this is an amazing problem space, very well thoughtful, and you can definitely feel like the passion in there. So awesome presentation. You sounded confident throughout, so absolutely love it. Next, and so if there's any questions from mentors, feel free to just put it in the chat, and Curtis, you can respond in the chat. So next we'll go on to Katie. Katie, if you're ready, please get ready to share your screen.
Yes, sorry, just give me 1 second. I actually didn't have anything ready, but I'm just going to share my mock-up and speak to it. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries.
You also can totally let somebody go before me, and
All
then
right. Then Remy, are you ready? If you're ready, feel free to share your screen, and then we can take from there.
All right, hi everyone. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, one moment. Okay, let's see. All right. Can we see real good?
Yeah, you can see your screen.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna, one moment here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start this. All right, hello everyone, and hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to, show and tell today. This is Team TrueFit, and my name is Bimsola, and I've been researching problem spaces, for 4 weeks now, and trying to get a feel of what pain points are like and what people, have to deal with on a daily. And I spoke to a few people, and they said, hey, this is an issue we deal with every day. And I, asked a few more people, and it looked like, okay, this might be a problem space, because according to the, I think the lectures by Shafemi is just age-old problems, new ways to solve them, right? So I settled on pretty much sizing issues when it comes to shopping online. And I spoke to a few people, and they were like, hey, this issue of, finding clothing, whether or not it fits, guessing and all that was just too much of a hassle for them. And they thought, hey, how about we find something that works? And I looked online and tried to Google and see what's, available. There were some available, but not enough to solve this problem to a T. So starting with sizing. Sizing is crucial with, with shopping, whatever you want to do. If it doesn't fit, it's just a waste of your time, money, and all that. So I found that, this problem was compounded by the fact that many retailers don't offer like comprehensive size charts. So it's just a generic size chart that doesn't cover people with diverse body types and dimensions. And what I mean by that is people whose measurements don't fall into the generic size that you have, like say tall, petite, slim, thick, whatever you want to call it. It's not the typical, you don't find your typical size, and as a result of that. And I did speak to one interviewee who stated she and her sisters have the same body type in a sense, and they placed one order and that one dress fit 3 people. But if they had gone and put in their sizes on those generic charts, the way they would, put usually like the normal way, they would have gone 3 different sizes, which wouldn't fit, and it would have just been a whole thing. And so with the research that I conducted, I found out that 90% of people actually deal with this. And, everyone's always asking these questions. Do you think it'll fit? Are you confident? And all that. It's too many questions. It's not easy. It's not streamlined. It takes too long to do. And I just figured, hey, I personally have gone through that, and I would love to create a solution to that. And that is where TrueFit was born. And with the proposed solution, it would be an app, a mobile app that has 3D scanning, which would be a later thing, but customer generated size charts, size recommended algorithms, just for you to put in your information, and it goes on to, find the most accurate sizing that would work for you. And pretty much this is a flow chart of how it would go. And it would just be opening the app to click start, and then you would have to take a TrueFit quiz, which has the option to input all those information that you need for it to get you the most accurate size. And if in the event that you find that it's not the most accurate size you would get, you'd go back and, retake the quiz. And so this is what the mockup would look like. So I'm just going to run through this really quick. And so pretty much TrueFit is pretty much the slogan is, find your true and like perfect fit with confidence, because honestly, I don't know who goes on there and comes out, of the shopping experience in less than 2 minutes. So first of all, you get to put in your bust, sizing, whatever you want to put, and then move on to the next phase that has the, what's it called? The perfect fit that it will give you after all this information that you've inputted in. And like I said, if in the event that it's not what you would like, you would go back and restart and put in a more accurate information, and get that. So hopefully that gets to solve a decent amount of the issue. And as we iterate through it and whatnot, then we could make it better and find more features that works better. And for learnings, I've just learned, to be honest, do it. You learn, and you learn as you go. Nothing is ever perfect, but you're always trying. This whole sprint program has just taught me, hey, user-centered research is the heart and soul of this entire thing. If you're not paying attention to that, you're not doing it right. So pretty much I've loved the entire experience and wouldn't trade it for anything. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. We're short on time, so we'll get a comment from the mentor. I don't know that we'll have enough time for questions, but any of the mentors, do you have a comment to share?
Great job. I think this is a really interesting problem space, personally and from a lot of friends. So just wanted to say great job, and really enjoyed reading your product spec doc too.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, thank you. So Katie, back to you. Are you ready for us now?
Yes, awesome. Thanks so much for the patience. I am just going to show a quick little mock-up of my product as I chat through my problem space and proposed solutions. So thanks everyone for the patience. So my product is called Recipe Rewind, and it's the optimal recipe and grocery list organization tool. The app is a platform that streamlines grocery list creation for the home cook that gains recipe inspiration from digital media content. So most commonly on social media, but also from websites, other forms of media content. And the problem space that I was exploring here is how might we streamline the grocery list creation process for the home cook so that they can make great recipes, save more time, and waste less food. And this really evolved out of a problem space around cooking for ourselves at home being a very vital and highly intentional piece of the human experience. There's so many ways to dine at home, meal kits, ordering takeout, things like that. But not only is cooking at home usually the least expensive dining option, but it also gives a little bit more creative control over the ingredients that we're consuming. And in many cases, like in mine, people just love to cook. So I examined a group of about 30 people, and 74% of them make over 50% of their meals at home. So I was excited to explore this space further. And a common space between or within that user group was that 83% of them express gaining recipe inspiration from social media and using the save feature in social media to save recipes for later with the intention of making them, but actually in 39% of cases, despite saving those recipes, they rarely, if ever, actually execute on the recipes. So definitely saw a major pain point for our users there, and excited about kind of what this manifested into in Recipe Rewind. I aim to provide this tool that acts as a digital library. So really simple mock-up here, but just kind of expose like these saved videos, compiling them all into one place, starting with just drawing from TikTok, as I find that as social media platforms go, TikTok has the worst or like the least capability to consolidate different saves into sections. So like recipes specifically. So starting with TikTok with like other platforms being able to be on the roadmap like Pinterest, Instagram, ideally getting all of those places or all of the saved content from those places in one place. And then consolidating and accurately translating the information from those saved recipes into a digital grocery list. So this is, of course, as you can see on the screen here, designed to organize the content, automate the grocery list, which is something that I spend a lot of time doing, and allow our users to cook new recipes with ease and enjoy home cooking, something that is really important to me. So yeah, that's my quick overview. Happy to answer any questions and elaborate on anything further.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. Mentors, judges, do you have any questions for Katie?
I have one, which is how might you measure success?
Yes, absolutely. So really looking into like quick to onboard process for users, because I think that while this is something that I would personally really enjoy using, it's definitely a nice to have, not a need to have. So most of the users that I surveyed are currently organizing things in like Apple Notes or maybe a Google Doc, whatever which way. So this is something that is like an add-on to their process. We need to make sure that it's super quick, super functional, and really simple, and something that they actually want to use. So like the speed to onboard process there. And then another piece that I want to make sure to keep an eye on is how much are they using both sides of the tool. So obviously we would love a place where they're consolidating all of their recipes, but that is something that they can just do in social media as it exists. So how are they translating that information into grocery lists and using both sides of the tool? Because without both pieces of use, it doesn't gain as much functionality to stand out compared to just using Apple Notes or just using their social media. It's about bringing those things together. So definitely like a two-sided coin there. Thanks for the question.
Awesome. Great presentation, Katie, and
Thank
great
you.
question, Rachel. And so the last presentation that we'll be doing today is Mohammed. So get ready to share your screen and then take us home, and then we'll take it from there. You're on mute, so I cannot hear you. Yes.
There we go. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Mohammed, and I'd like to introduce you to Perwell. Perwell is a platform that gives users or job seekers the ability to peek inside their future workplace. So to further explain this idea, I'm going to introduce you to two users. First, we have Jackson. He's a recruiter. Jackson is tasked with filling key roles in his company that drive the bottom line. The whole set. Okay, sorry. That drives the bottom line, and he's to hire key candidates for his roles. The way he does this is by communicating information about the opportunity candidates through phone calls, emails, candidate employee chats, and more. In my investigating this problem space, I found that 80% of recruiters feel that to be effective, they need to be able to communicate the employee experience to candidates. But on the flip side, 70% feel that their employers don't equip them to do so with their candidates. Additionally, 1 in 3 recruiters felt that hiring teams or other employees didn't have the space to speak with candidates. So that provides a little challenge, because if they don't have the answers, then of course internal employees might, but timing is the issue. Next, our next user is Candace. Candace, she's a mid-career professional engineer. She's had great experience in her hiring, in her job in her career and bad experience in her career. So before she takes up any opportunity or goes into an interview process, she does her research. And what I found with this problem space is 91% in doing research find that recruiters or interviewers are not reliable sources of information. Additionally, that same 91% felt that sites like Blind and Glassdoor were heavily biased. But to gather as much information as possible, people use Google search and these third-party sites or peer-to-peer chats with past employees, current employees, or people that they know. The downside to that group is that those chats are hard to come by unless you know the people at the company. So my solution is Perwell, right? Perwell is a platform that will enable recruiters to get employee video narratives from, to request employee video narratives from the company at large, based on their experience with leadership, based on their what they thought about their benefits, and publish those videos to a public platform for users like Candace to further search and use that information to make decisions about whether that company could be a good fit for her. And I'll leave it there.
Cool. I'm curious what that slide job uses data. I'm curious what that means. But anyways,
oh, that was my PM experience. So I learned to focus on jobs to be done, which helped frame my research, but also helped keep me focused on one particular idea and one particular problem space. Users, talking to users, like that could be a little bit nerve-wracking, but when you talk to users, it actually paints the opportunity space for you, and you get to see what actual challenges they're facing, which can, and what ideas you want to go with, and the data allows you to focus in on which ideas kind of rise to the top. So, and helps you out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have time for one question. Mentors, judges, what question do you have? And then I'll sort of like wrap us up.
Yeah, I can jump in.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, I'll be quick.
I was going to ask, kind of from your survey, you know, it seems like candidates don't really trust like employer source feedback. So how would this be different? Like, how would like you ensure that like it is non-biased and candidates can trust the information they're getting in the videos?
No, definitely. You have employees like because it's video. Like if you ask me to share an experience on, I know how great the company is, and I don't feel the company is great, I'm not going to share a video, right? So the premise is you're tapping into the happy employee population to get them to share their experiences, because on the flip side, you have all the negative experiences you can find in this anonymous sites. And by hope, if I'm looking for something specific and I don't find it, then I can't find it, and then I'm unsatisfied as a user. But if I can find the information I'm looking for, then I can use that to make a decision.
Awesome. I like that. I like typing into that kind of like the user psychology from both sides of like, if I'm searching for a job, but also if I'm working there, like, would I actually answer or not? So great job.
Thank you.
Awesome. I think that's it for now. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who presented. I know it's not easy. I know it's very nerve-wracking. I know it could be very odd being put on the spot to just like present what you've been working on. But I wanted to say that I thoroughly enjoyed all the presentations. I was very impressed with them. Again, you didn't have to do mock-ups. So shout out to everyone who actually took the effort to build mock-ups and showcase your ideas and think about what it can possibly look like. I will encourage you to not be too married to that solution, because things can change as you evolve, learn from your customers, and build. I know we would have loved to see all of the presentations today, so I know not everyone got to present. So I just want to just like encourage you all that you can still share your product pack. That's one of the reasons why we have your PM portfolios, so that you can also share that. I took a peek at some of them, and they're all outstanding. And thank you to all the mentors and judges for not only giving us the list of people who will be presenting today, but also giving their time to give feedback and also do the spec reviews and also listen to the presentations. Again, just wanted to echo that you are all extremely capable, love the work that you've all done, and it's just been a pleasure So before we wrap up, as always, I love to take pictures at every single opportunity that we have so we can sort of like celebrate as a group. So if you're comfortable, feel free to turn on your camera, hold an item that's next to you and wave that for a bit, and then we will sort of like wrap up. I'm gonna grab my collab water bottle and then we'll take it from there. All right, so if everyone's ready, I'll just give a few more folks some time. And then, all right, so let's go and wave. All right, sorry, I'm not saying. All right. Thank you all so much. And then congratulations. And I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. Again, thank you all so much. Super excited. And I'm honestly just privileged to have watched like all these amazing presentations and watch you grow over the past 4 weeks. Feel free to remain engaged in Discord. We'll be doing further announcements, next steps, and all the things that you need to learn moving forward. It's been such a pleasure. This isn't the end of your journey. You're now part of the Collab community for life. So feel free to like hang around, ask any questions, and let us know if there's any way that we can help and support you. So you do belong in tech. Have a good rest of your Friday. Great job, everyone. So bye-bye.